Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 30th of January 1988, and the title is The Second Step of Courage, Tolerance, Life Story of Brahma Baba. Today, the Almighty Authority Father is seeing his first elevated creation. The first creation is of Brahmins, and in the first creation Brahma is said to be the first number. Because of being the first number of the first creation, Brahma is called Adidev. There is also a memorial of this name, Adidev, on Abu Mountain. He is called Adidev, that is, the first creation, and together with that, Adidev also means that he is the first deity in the beginning of the new world. It is Brahma who becomes the first deity in the form of Sri Krishna. This is why he is called the first deity in the beginning of the new world. At the confluence age 2, he is the first number of the first creation. That is, whether you call him Adidev or Brahma, he is the creator of Brahman souls. So, he is the first one at the confluence age and also at the beginning of the world. And so, he is called Adidev. It is Brahma who becomes the first Karmatit angel. Brahma becomes an angel, and the angel becomes the deity. He is number one in everything. Why did he become number one in this way? With what method did he attain number one success? All of you Brahmin souls have to follow Brahma. What do you have to follow him in? You have already been told about his first step of surrender. In his first step, too, he demonstrated this by surrendering in every way. The second step is tolerance. When he surrendered himself, of course, he received the most elevated inheritance from the Father. But what did he receive from the people of the world, who was showered with the most insult? Even though you souls were insulted or assaulted, it was Brahma who continued to receive the most anger. In his Lokic life, he had never heard a bad word, but when he became Brahma, he became number one in having to hear bad words. He led a life where he received the most love from everyone, but to the extent that he was loved by everyone in his Lokic life, to that extent, everyone became his enemy in his alokik life. The children were assaulted, that was automatically also an assault on the Father indirectly. However, with the virtue of tolerance, he remained smiling. He never wilted. To smile when someone praises you is not being tolerant. However, to remain smiling at a time when someone becomes an angry enemy and who showers you with insults, and not to have the slightest sign of wilting on your face or even in thoughts is said to be having tolerance. To see, speak, and come into connection with merciful feelings with an enemy soul is called having tolerance. In the task of the establishment and of service, there were sometimes small and sometimes big storms. As a memorial in the scriptures, they have portrayed Mahavir Hanuman carrying such a big mountain on the palm of his hand, just like a ball. In the same way, no matter if the problem, obstacle, or storm seems like a big mountain, a mountain means to make a big thing into a small toy and to overcome it as you would a game. Or he made anything big become something very light. He himself remained light, and he also made others light. This is called tolerance. He didn't make a small stone into a mountain, but made the mountain into a ball. He put the expansion into its essence. This is tolerance. To expend obstacles and problems in your mind, or to speak about them to others, means to create mountains. However, he did not go into expansion, but with the full stop of nothing new, he put full stop and moved forward. This is called putting expansion into its essence. An elevated, tolerant soul is always able to put expansion, problems, and obstacles into their essence with knowledge and yoga, just as Brahma Baba did. When you go on a longer route, it finishes your time and energy. That is, a lot more of those are used. In the same way, expansion is the longer route, and the essence is in taking a shortcut. Both are able to go across, but because those who take a shortcut are able to save their time and energy, they don't become disheartened. They constantly enjoy themselves and overcome everything with a smile. This is called tolerance. Someone with the power of tolerance will never be afraid and think, does this also happen? Because of being constantly full, he will go into the depths of knowledge and remembrance. Someone who is afraid is never able to go into the depths. One with essence always remains full. This is why there is depth in something that is full. One with expansion is empty. That is why something that is empty always rattles. So, someone with expansion would constantly continue to rattle with thoughts such as, why this? What is this? It shouldn't be like this, but like this. It should not be like this. He will continue to rattle in this way in his thoughts and in his words too. He would still constantly rattle on in front of everyone. What happens when you rattle and beyond limits? You rattle on, you become breathless, and you tire yourself out. Those who are tolerant are saved from all of those things, and this is why they always enjoy themselves. They don't rattle on, but they fly. Second step, tolerance. Brahma Baba demonstrated this by taking this step. He always remained unshakable and immovable. He always enjoyed himself in an easy way and didn't have to labor. The children who did 14 years of tapasya experienced this. Did you feel it was 14 years long? Or did you feel it was just like a few moments? Did you live with enjoyment? Or did you feel it took labor? Baba took many test papers of physical labor too. There is a vast difference between being those who were sustained by being spoiled with so much pride, being those who made the cow dung patties for the fire and who did the mechanics. He also made you sew slippers. He also made you into shoemakers and gardeners. Was that labor or a pleasure? You overcame everything, but you always experienced it to be a life of pleasure. Those who became confused ran away, whereas those who remained in pleasure are giving many others the experience of a life of pleasure. Even now, if those 14 years were to be repeated, you would like that, would you not? However, now, if someone has to do even a little physical work at a center, they think, is this why I renounced everything? Am I meant to do this work? To live one's life in pleasure is said to be a Brahman life, whether it is ordinary physical work or whether you have to give a speech on a stage to thousands of people. Do both with pleasure. This is called living a life of pleasure. Not to be confused and think, I didn't think that to surrender would mean I would have to do all of this. I came here as a teacher. I didn't renounce everything to do this physical work. Is this all a Brahmakumari life is? This is called a life of confusion. To become a Brahmakumari means to live with pleasure in your heart, not with physical pleasures. With pleasure in your heart, you will be able to transform any situation or task of confusion into pleasure. Although you have elevated facilities and everything you have is clear, if you yourself are constantly confused, you create confusion in something that is very clear. While having good facilities, you won't be able to take pleasure from those facilities. How will this happen? This will not happen like this, but like this. You yourself will be confused about that, and you will also confuse others. It is said, when a thread is tangled, confused, it is with great difficulty that you are able to untangle it. You would be confused about something good and also about something that causes fear, because the attitude is confused and the mind is confused. Then your attitude automatically affects your vision, and because of your vision, you see the world as being confused too. A Brahma Kumari life means a life of pleasure, like that of Father Brahma. However, the basis of this is tolerance. So tolerance is so special. Because of this specialty, Father Brahma always remained unshakable and immovable. You have been told of the two papers of tolerance. The first paper were the bad words and the assaults from people. Secondly, the different obstacles that came in establishing the yajna. Thirdly, some Brahmin children become traitors or create opposition because of discontentment about small or large matters. However, in this too, with the feeling of satisfying those who were discontent while considering them to be influenced by something else, by having benevolent feelings, and with the silent power of tolerance, he made each one move forward. He still taught the lesson of tolerance with sweetness, good wishes, and pure feelings to those who came to oppose him. When someone opposed him one day and the next day came back to ask him for forgiveness with words emerging from his lips, Baba is truly Baba. That is said to be making those who fail pass with tolerance and to pass through the obstacles. So, you heard about the second step. For what? So that you can place your steps in his steps. This is known as follow Father, or to become equal to the Father. Do you want to become this, or do you just want to observe from a distance? You are courageous, are you not? Punjab, Maharashtra, both are courageous. All are courageous. All you people from this land and abroad call yourselves Mahavirs. If any one of you were to be called part of the infantry, would you accept that? This proves that all of you consider yourselves to be Mahavirs. To be a Mahavir means to be equal to the Father. Do you understand? Acha. To all the souls from this land and abroad who are equal to the Father, who always have a surrendered intellect, to those who always remain tolerant in every situation and with every person, and who make every big situation into something small and easily overcome it, to those who put the expansion into its essence, to those who always live their Brahman life as a life of pleasure, to such elevated Mahavir souls who become equal to the Father. Bapdada's love, remembrance, and namaste, together with the blessing, may you become equal. Bapdada meeting groups. What is the specialty of Kumars? A Kumar life is an elevated life because it is a pure life, and where there is purity, there is greatness. Kumar means powerful, someone who is able to do whatever he has the thought to do. A Kumar means one who is always free from bondage and makes others free from bondage. You have such specialties, do you not? You can put whatever thought you have into practical action. You yourselves remain pure, and you can also tell others the importance of remaining pure. You can become instruments for such service. What people of the world consider to be impossible, you Brahmakumars issue a challenge about. No one can be as pure as we are. Why? Because it is the Almighty Authority who makes you that. No matter how much people of the world try, they cannot become as pure as you. You have easily become pure. It feels easy, does it not? Or do you also say, like the people of the world, that it is unnatural? Do you feel that? The definition of a Kumar is one who issues a challenge. Those who demonstrate this by transforming themselves in a practical way, the one who make the impossible possible. Other people take their companions into bad company, whereas you bring them into the Father's company. You don't color them with your company. You color them with the Father's company. You make them equal to the Father. You are like that, are you not? Acha. A Kumar means one who is constantly unshakable and immovable. No matter what type of situations come, you are not those who fluctuate because your companion is the Father himself. One will always be unshakable and immovable where the Father is. Where the Almighty authority is, there will be all the powers. Maya cannot do anything in front of all the powers. Therefore, the life of a Kumar means one with a constant stage, not those who fluctuate. Those who fluctuate are not able to claim the imperishable fortune of the kingdom. You would receive a little happiness, but not for all time. Therefore, a Kumar life means to be constantly unshakable and to have a stable stage. So, is your stage stable, or is your intellect pulled into other tastes, experiences? You are those who experience all sweetness in the one Father. This is called being constant and stable, focused on one, that is, unshakable and immovable. Only the children who have such a stable stage are loved by the Father. So, always remember that you souls are unshakable, immovable, those who stay in a stable stage. To the mothers, what is the easy path that Bapdada has shown you, mothers, through which you can easily experience remembrance of the Father and don't have to labor? What is the means to make remembrance easy? Say with your heart, my Baba. When you say mine, you have easy remembrance. Throughout the whole day, you remember that which is mine, do you not? If someone or something belongs to you, or you feel that belongs to you, you will remember that. In this way, if you say, my Father, then you will remember only the Father. So, with your heart, my Baba, do not simply say mine, mine in words, but say it with the right. Make this easy effort and continue to move forward. Always be an easy yogi with this method. Say mine and become a master of the Father's treasures. Mothers, do you constantly consider yourselves to be multi-million times fortunate? You found the Father while sitting at home, and so it is such great fortune. People of the world go out to look for God, whereas you found Him while sitting at home. So, did you ever even think that you would receive such great fortune? It is remembered that God was found while sitting at home. Who is that a memorial of? It is your memorial, is it not? So always keep this elevated fortune in your awareness and continue to move forward. Wow, my elevated fortune. Continue to sing these songs of happiness. Continue to swing in the swings of happiness. Continue to sing and dance in happiness. What happiness do the Shaktis always have? I am always combined with the Father. Shiv Shakti means to be combined. The Father and I, both together, are referred to as Shiv Shakti. So, those who are combined cannot be separated by anyone. Do you have such happiness? The Father has made weak souls powerful. So always remember that you have claimed a right to remain combined. Previously, you were those who were searching for Him, and now you have become those who stay with him. Always have this intoxication. No matter how much Maya tries, Maya cannot do anything in front of Shiv Shakti. If you remain separate, Maya will come, but remain combined, and Maya cannot come. So, always remember this blessing. You are the victorious Shiv Shaktis who always remain combined. Blessing, may you become equal and complete by merging the ashes of your old sanskars in the ocean of your complete and perfect stage. In order to become equal to the Father and complete and perfect, destroy your weaknesses and defects before the destruction of the world. Make yourself so bright that no name or trace of any problems remains. Just as when your birth changes, a new birth, all the things of your previous birth are forgotten. In the same way, burn the old things and old sanskars. Merge the ashes into the ocean of your complete and perfect stage, for only then will you be said to be equal and complete and perfect. Slogan: learn the magic of merging the expansion into its essence, and you will become equal to the Father. Om Shanti.